Hey everyone, welcome to Encore, and this is actually just a video response to those of you guys who's been inquiring about my brushes. I have brushes in my online store, and I know there are quite a number of you guys who's ordered some of them already, and hopefully you'll love them as much as I do. Now, the brushes are duo fiber brushes, okay, and it's kind of like, those popular stippling brushes, but it's not for that purpose, it's for other purposes. I stumbled upon these brushes like over a year ago and I fell in love with them. And I did not really use them in any of my videos because I'm avoiding the fact that I'm going to get a lot of questions as to where I got the brushes, and I'm going to be stomped because I will not have an answer because I never found them in any stores. I've never seen them in any online stores, and for a while, I've been looking for them and I can't find them. So I thought, if I ever had an online store or a boutique or a store in general, it'll be one of the products I'm going to be carrying in stock. And so that just happened. I have an online store now. It's the first thing that I had custom made are these brushes. Now, I'm not going to review them because that's going to make me feel like I'm tooting my own horn, because I'm just going to let like other people do that, but I'm just going to feature them, and hopefully that I can answer the questions that some of you guys sent. So the first thing I'm going to show you is my skin finisher brush. Okay, this is the duo fiber skin finisher, and I love this brush so much. I love all the four brushes actually, and I love them so much that this is one thing I'm going to tell you guys. It has EnKoreMakeup on them, and that's how much I love them. That's how much I believe in these brushes. So, like I said, I'm not going to review them, but I'm just going to answer some questions. And one of the questions was about the bristles and what is it made of. So the black right here is silk, and the white is fiber optics, okay? And one thing that I'm going to show you that's kind of unique and different is that I call this my hybrid brush because it's kind of like two brushes in one. If you notice, I don't know if you can see it, that the black fibers is chisel shape, kind of like a big blush brush, that chisel shape right there. Okay, and then the white fiber right here is a paddle shape. So you have a chisel and a paddle in one brush. So it's kind of like dual purpose. Awesome. And the products that I like using this with, and I know somebody asked, a couple actually people asked that, what is this great for? This is the brush I use for mineralized skin finish, whether it's natural for foundation or, the pinkish champagne tones for blush or skin, just general skin finishing. This is the brush that I like using for that. And also for bronzing, this is a great bronzer brush, and especially, summer's coming and everybody's going to be back to that bronzing mode. This is definitely a brush for that, and this is definitely ideal for like any other loose powder products, like mineral foundation, mineral veils, things like that. And you can get a nice, beautiful airbrush finish if you just use the top right here. Okay, and if you need some more coverage, you want to use a little bit more of the middle part. So you get the black right here, which is a little bit denser. And then what you want to do is use the nice tips right here, all right, to give it that beautiful airbrush flawless finish to the makeup. If you guys watched the recent Encoring video and you notice a little bit more of that flawless finish to the face makeup, this is the brush that was applied to do that. And some of the few factors that I really considered when I had these brushes custom made is, one, oh my god, I'm pretty sure you guys will agree on this, the smell. You know that roadkill smell when you buy a new brush, especially like natural brushes, and you smell it and it smelled like something died and became a brush? You know what I'm talking about. I told them just like I cannot stand, that roadkill smell. And I asked them, after handcrafting the bristles, if they can wash them to make sure that it doesn't smell. And they complied with that, and I received my brushes and it smells like vanilla. it's got that hint of vanilla. I don't know, it's just like vanilla and some nut. It's like a vanilla, well, vanilla's a bean, but it's a hint of vanilla. That's all I'm going to tell you. There are some brushes that kind of smell like glue, which is understandable because the glue, it's newly made and the glue is still curing and stuff, and you will smell the glue a little bit, but that's going to go away. You know, as soon as the glue sets and cure, that smell is going to go bye-bye. And you're left with a nice vanilla scent until you wash them, which is my number one recommendation and advice, is for you guys to always, always, always wash your brushes the first time you receive them. So another factor that I also requested, and again I'm adamant about, is shed factor. I don't like brushes that shed. I know many of you guys share that with me, that you guys don't like shedding in your brushes. So I asked them when they custom made the brushes to double bind them. Okay, so the bristles are double bound, okay, and then crimped right into the ferrule, the nickel ferrule. This is nickel, by the way. And so that's going to put the shedding factor to its minimal and almost none. And they said that's not a problem, and these are double bound. And I said, okay, really now, you know, just like me being me, I had to like give it like a thorough wash, you know, just to make sure there's no shedding whatsoever. And sure enough, there's no shedding, so I'm really, really happy about that. So those are the two main factors that I think is going to benefit you guys, because I think we all pretty much share kind of like the same sentiments when it comes to new brushes, okay? Just like that roadkill smell, the shed factor, and whatnot. So anyway, so that's my Duo Fiber Skin Finisher brush. The next brush I'm going to show you is the blush brush. Okay, now the blush brush, all right, is basically just a smaller version of the Skin Finisher brush, but this is actually chisel on chisel. So the black is chisel cut, and then the white is also chisel cut, as opposed to the Skin Finisher, which is the dual cut. Okay, so you have the chisel, which is the black. You can kind of see, you know, the shape of it, that chisel shape, and then the paddle cut on the white bristle. So that's the blush brush, and again, it's the same exact everything as the brushes, you know, so I'm not going to go over that again, but I'm going to answer a few questions about this brush. This brush is ideal for mineralized blushes, okay? If you have, like, you know, the domed mineralized blush or powder, loose powder blushes, and because it's silk and fiber optics, this is also great for cream blushes. So if you're a cream blush user, this is definitely ideal for that. And again, you know, if you want a more soft focus look, just kind of concentrate on your application by using just the white fibers. Okay, and then if you want a little bit more color and a little bit more intensity, then kind of use it about right there, so that you can use a little bit of the black silk and then, you know, soften the edges a little bit using the white fibers. Okay, now they're pretty dense, so if I push it, this is how you test the density of the bristles. It's giving you a really, really good fight. Okay, so it's pretty dense. So I know there are many of you guys who asked that, and so that's the blush brush. All right, so let's move on to the shader brush. Now the two eye brushes, I have the shader brush and the pointed crease blender. Now these two brushes are, again, the brushes that EnKore used in her eye look. And I'm going to show you the shader brush. So here's the shader brush. It's just an oval shape, okay? Again, dual fiber. And then one thing that I like about this brush, aside from, of course, you know, the beautiful finish that you'll accomplish using the brush, is that, again, it's fiber optics and silk, so it's ideal for cream eyeshadows as well. And this is also great for eyeshadow primers. If you guys use eyeshadow primers, you can also use this brush for that, because there's no natural hair in it. Okay, and then again, the same concept. If you want a softer focus, just concentrate on the white bristle. If you want a little bit more application, then use the black part right here. And if you're using loose mineral powders. You can actually, you know, press, okay, kind of like press and pack the colors first, all right, and then use the white tips to blend it, all right, and you'll get a beautiful, beautiful airbrush look to your eye makeup with that brush. And then here's my pointed crease blender, okay, and it's just kind of like a tapered end to it, and it'll give you a beautiful, again, finish to your eye makeup and beautiful blending using this brush. Alright, so that's all the brushes. I didn't have a lot of these brushes made because you know, I just don't want to be overwhelmed with like stock, and I don't know if they're really gonna fly, so it's kind of like testing them and stuff. So far so good. So I only have kind of like a few left on these, so I think I'm going to order more, but everybody's like doing this like Memorial Day special, and I'm new. I just opened. I'm like a week old, I think, just a little over a week ago. So so I thought maybe for Memorial Day I'm going to make them available as a set. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make them available as a set for you guys, and it's going to be a special price. Now I think, let me just do this on the top of my head. If you buy them individually, they're going to be about $61 or so, maybe $62. So for Memorial Day celebration, so between now and Memorial Day, of course, I'm going to do it $49.95. So I'm just going to set them for $49.95. I think that's a good price for these brushes. But there's not a lot, guys. I think there's only like probably like 15 left on these. I'm not sure. 15 to 20, maybe 12. I don't know. So definitely less than 20. That I can tell you. So because like a lot of people bought them already. So yeah. So hopefully that's all. Did I miss anything? No, I think that's all the questions so far. Well, you know, there's a lot of questions, but they're pretty much like the same questions. So I just wanted to cover most of them, but anyway, hopefully that answered the question. And again, check out my website at www.EnKoreMakeupOnline.com and check out the brush section, and you'll find these brushes in there. So thanks a lot for joining me. Until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.